Hello and welcome to tonight's show.
And hello and welcome to episode 222 of On the Bench, podcast for scale modelers by scale modelers, all about scale models. This episode is being brought to you by our wonderful Patreon supporters. You too can help support the show. Simply go to www.patreon.com/onthebench and pledge any amount from as little as $1 per month. All of our paid Patreon supporters get a fantastic OTB sticker. And of course, go into the wonderful Patreon Wheel of Fortune. On the Bench is proudly supported by the Scale Model Supply. So let's hear a word from them right now.
Hi, I'm Scott, the creator and owner of the Scale Modeler Supply, Australia's largest manufacturer of hobby paints. Our premium airbrush-ready acrylic lacquer paints are designed specifically for use on plastics, with a comprehensive range covering all popular modelling subjects including military, aircraft, rail, auto, sci-fi and more. And not only that, but we also have a wide selection of essential hobby tools and now, Infinite Colour, our new range of water-based paints for miniatures. So to check out our range and to find your closest retailer, please visit our website at scalemodeler.com.au. So when quality matters, choose SMS Paints.
And hello and welcome to the show. And in the studio, I've got Ian.
G'day, Dave. G'day, Julian. G'day, everyone out there in Radio Land.
And of course, Julian.
Good morning.
How are we, gentlemen?
Yeah, good, mate.
Yeah, good.
Ian, what's happening?
Well, I've given up on the SMS Emden. Unfortunately, with having a cat in the house and too many bits have gone missing.
Oh, no,
Or
really?
been chewed on.
No.
So it's, that's been shelved. But
Well, there's no sense in shelving it. You should just bin it.
well, the main components are still
I
there.
knew
It's
you
still in
wouldn't.
good
I
condition. It's
knew
just
you
small
wouldn't.
stuff that's gone that can be scratch built at a later date. But anything to do with like major construction work at the moment is just out. So I decided last night, after being really inspired by one of our listeners, our good mate Ben Flood did a really nice iguana.
I saw that. That was gorgeous.
And I've got from Nautilus Models, I've got their bearded dragon.
All right.
So I've started gluing bits on that last night and doing a bit of cleanup. So I'm thinking I might make a start on my bearded dragon.
Yeah, why not?
Do some painting. That way, at least there's something I can do that I can, when it's
And
finished,
then
I can
find the smallest figure you can to put next to it. Make a little diorama of like.
Yeah. No, it's only a bust.
Oh, it's a bust, is it?
Yeah, it's a
Oh,
bust.
I was
Yeah.
expecting the whole thing.
No, it's a bust of a bearded dragon. It looks pretty cool.
Excellent.
So so I've started on that. So if I get a bit of time over the weekend, I might go. Hopefully by the end of the weekend, I might have it in undercoat, ready for painting.
Cool.
Um,
Julian.
So I've had some changes. So what is happening is I've got a few car builds on the go.
Yep.
One of them is the
Really? You got a car build on the go? Gee, how unusual.
Well, I mean, I've mentioned this previously, but I'm sort of recapping. So I've got the Skyline that I'm building for the Interclub, and that's almost done. Basically, it's all painted. I'm just sort of spinning my wheels about a few things.
Yep.
But it's mostly, like, everything's painted. It just needs to be put together, basically.
Cool.
The other car I was building is the Tamiya Volkswagen Beetle, which I'd won in like a raffle or something like that. Mm-hmm. And what happened was Marissa was doing a group build for bugs because the bug thing, and I joined that because I was like, it'll be a good chance to get rid of this sort of mediocre kit because it's an old kit, it's old Tamiya.
Yep.
And man, I hated that kit so much. And then I got down to polishing, and I burned through the color, the clear coat and the color in one spot, but I thought I could hide it. And then I just kept on trying to go through the rest of it. And I'll tell you what, Volkswagen Beetles are not
Polish friendly.
easy for polishing. There are a lot of pokey corners around those
Headlights.
around those guards. You know, the quarters.
Yep.
Like especially the one at the front. And the reason why is because where that wheel arch meets the body is like almost a 90-degree angle, right?
Yes, that's right. Yep.
But the panel that is squared off from it, you know, like just before the front, before the doors, right? So where it meets the doors, there's a little raised feature there, vertically, and there's another one horizontally.
Yep.
So you end up with this triangle that you'll have to polish in there, but you can't get anything of any broad size in there. You're basically polishing in little tiny 1 to 2 millimeter circles.
Yes.
All the way around in that space, and it's the worst. It's the worst.
I could imagine.
The worst.
Yep.
And so I was like, you know what? I can't deal with it anymore. I've been procrastinating because it's such a bad thing. I'm just going to bin it.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so I binned it.
Went to the well of tears.
Yep. And so I was like, well, I need to like scramble at the last minute and grab something to finish this group build, because it's a pretty serious. It's not one of those group builds where you like make promises and then you break them. You know?
Yeah, no, you got to come through with it.
Yeah. Because she wants to like probably publish them, kind of a thing, or something along those lines. You know, like with a poster and stuff. I was like, geez, I got to do something. I can't afford to let these people down. so I went out and I had to like sort of do some searching, like what's available, what fits the bug thing that I can do on a short notice and be fairly straightforward. Well, I settled on a Subaru. So if you
How
don't
does that fit bugs?
if you don't know, the Subaru WRXs, sort of nicknamed by their headlights. Right?
Okay.
So there's the Hawkeye.
Yep.
There's the something eye, and then there's the Bug Eye.
Oh, okay.
So I went with the Bug Eye WRX.
Oh, very good. Clever.
Right.
Yeah. Which was a bit of a stroke of genius.
Well, you could have also done a one of those little Italian cars.
A Fiat,
yeah.
Spider?
A Bath, whatever they call it, because they got the Scorpion badge on them.
Oh, yeah.
That
That would have worked.
Yeah, but there's
Bug-eyed Sprite, good old British car.
there's no kits of that.
Alfa-
There was a kit of the Alfa Romeo Spider.
Yeah.
But that, I tracked down its lineage. It goes all the way back to the 90s, made by Protar. So I was like, and then I looked at the plastic in detail once I found that, and I was like, I didn't like what I saw. You know, I scrutinized it and I wasn't happy.
Yep.
So I was like, is it? And it was reboxed from Protar to Italeri. So, you know, if they picked it up, then. In any case, I sort of struck that off my list and then started looking around. I was like, well, there's this Tamiya Bug-Eye Subaru. Now, I'm not a big fan of Subarus. And, you know, I'm actually normally the kind of person poking fun of them.
Yep.
There you go.
Yeah, so... Well, anyway, I saw, and then, you know, obviously when I decided I was going to buy it, I went down to the Hobby Man. I bought my kit.
And they're moving.
Yeah. And when I said... What I did is I looked at the blues available because I wasn't sure if I'd have the right blue. I thought I bought a few extra blues because I can always have more, you know, blue options, shades of blue in my arsenal of colors. And I found a pair. I found a Guns GX blue, which is a really good paint, blue, and it matches really well, like almost perfectly with one of the blue sparkly colors that SMS do.
Oh, right. Yeah.
So I shot that over the top of it. Yeah. And then yesterday I glossed it, and just as I threw down my gloss layer, I looked at it, I was like, oh, I've gone really thin in that area right there. You know?
Oh, so it's come
So
through.
I'll have to go back and paint that blue part in.
Yeah, and then re-gloss it.
Yeah, throw some more gloss at it. But yeah, it's on the way.
Cool.
Yeah, I'm ripping through it. Yeah.
Very good.
Yeah. In other news,
Oh, yes.
GBWC, you know, the Gundam Builders World Cup
Yes, yes.
had a drama.
Oh, did they?
Yes, because now that I've sort of know some Gundam modelers and I listened in on what's happening in that realm.
Yeah.
Yeah, they had a bit of a drama. Yeah, some guy takes himself too seriously, like an influencer, like a Gundam builder on Instagram.
Mm.
Yeah, he chucked a wobbly because he didn't win.
Oh.
Had a bit of a meltdown, did he?
Yeah.
And it's blown up.
Yeah, he was shouting during the award ceremony.
What?
Yeah.
Seriously?
Whoa.
Yeah.
Whoa. Way to destroy your
And
credibility.
so now like everyone's sort of like not naming names because they all know who it is.
Yeah.
And talking about it across like the whole sort of community space.
Yeah. So during the actual awards ceremony, he was yelling.
Yeah, yelling things like my colours are shit, and such and such said that and all this sort of thing. And
Whoa. That's pretty heavy.
yeah, there's some layers to it, but I won't go into them. I mean, even if he had grounds to be disagreeable.
You
during
don't
the
do it like
awards
that.
ceremony,
No,
come on.
No. That's a big
So
no.
is that done online or is it?
No, it's in person.
It's in person.
So the event I think was Plamo 25.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
So at the actual show and awards,
At
he
the
was.
actual show.
Wow.
And he's sponsored.
Oh wow.
So he's a sponsored. Well,
Was sponsored.
sort of sponsored. I mean, like there's different levels to sponsorship, right? There's like here's a freebie. Please talk well about it if you want more. And then there's we pay you money to do something, right?
Yeah.
It wasn't at that level, I don't think.
So he chucked a wobbly.
Yeah.
Oh, that's good.
For our American listeners, that it's a tantrum.
Had to win friends and influence people.
Had an episode
Yeah.
in public.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And in other news, you're of course a judge with VMX, Models
Yes,
Without Borders,
that's right.
the online
Yeah.
competition, and you said that you've just received all of the judging stuff that you're going to do for cars.
Good luck, Julian.
And you were
Good luck.
saying that there's some crackers in there.
Yeah, there is really good level models.
Wow.
Nice
Like
scratch building
it's
stuff.
kind of intimidating, really.
Is it really?
Yeah. Because like these, like some of the models in there
Yep.
are the kind you would see turn up to a big show, like maybe once
Wow.
or twice.
Yeah.
Some of them are like that,
Yeah.
and so there's some really high. Like some of them are scratch built,
Wow.
like fully scratch built, as far as I can tell.
Jeez.
I mean, I might have misread it a bit somewhere in there, but there's definitely some like really serious builds.
Jeez, you get your work cut out for you, mate.
Yeah, and here's the funny thing: 4 of them are Volkswagen Beetles. I looked at it, I was like, "What? What's going on here?"
Oh dear.
I think there's just a lot of them that people have in their stash because it's such a common Tamiya kit.
Yeah.
That people are just like, I'll just reach for that and I'll do something with it. Only one of them is like a fairly serious, like, out of the box, as intended kind of build.
Mm-hmm.
Like one of them has like, what's that German RSO or whatever it's called, the tracked vehicle.
Oh yeah, the RSO. Yeah.
RSO.
Yeah.
It is RSO. Okay. Yeah. Someone's like grafted that onto the back of like the VW body and made it into like some kind of half track looking thing.
Yeah, they were around. I think that was an experimental thing. They
Oh, was it?
Germans
Yeah.
did. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, so there's something like that, and there's a few other sort of it's as far as model kits go, it's one of the more moddable cars that you can get. Because there's a lot of like people making 3D printed wheels, resin replacement chassis type stuff, so that you can drop it right down, and that was another reason why I threw it in the bin, is because I had my aftermarket wheels there and I put it on the kit and they stuck out like a centimeter. I was like, well, this is not going to work, and I really don't want to put these frisbee skinny wheels on.
No.
I'm not doing that.
Well,
So,
there you go.
Yeah, so that's what's been going on in my quarter of the modelling world for a while.
Well, I've part of a group build coming up for ScaleACT. There's a little sort of a group of guys called the Corner Cutters sort of club. And,
Corner cutters.
Yeah, and you've all got to build a certain kit and take it into the show. And if you
cut corners.
Well, yeah. And if you commit to actually putting a model in, if you don't turn up, you get an eyebrow shaved off. So
Wow.
yeah, I know. So I've got and this year it was it's a Harrier from what's the name of the brand?
Oh, so that's why you've been building
Kinetic,
that Harrier.
yeah, the Kinetic one. And It'd be
a real shame if I went into that room next door and no.
And I thought I'd finished it, but I looked at it the other day and go, there's a couple of things I still haven't put on.
Oh.
Like the doors for the undercarriage and a couple of the, pitot tubes and all that sort of stuff. So I'm just adding them on now so I can finish that off.
Well, that's a group that Ian would not want to be in. Because he'd be losing an eyebrow for sure. He'd be losing too.
I'd lose both of them, yeah.
And
like a real freak.
So there's that. I'll finish that off this weekend, and then I'll get back into doing the Musharoo Cup. Oh God, it's just not fun. Doing the Musharoo Cup, and I've chosen the colour now. I've chosen the scheme.
What's the colour?
It's going to be a green.
Oh, it's green. Oh, that's right. Yeah, I remember. Yep.
Yeah. So
I remember.
I've got to get that done because March is coming up pretty quick. We're in September now. It's going to be October in about a week's time. So
there's so much crap going on in October.
I know, and I've
got to get this group build done in October. We got the Interclub in October.
Yeah.
There's so many things in
I know,
October. I can't keep track of them all.
And I'm away all January because I'm overseas on a holiday. So, my build time is massively shrinking.
Are you going in January?
Yeah, I'm going all the way January. So I'm Paris, going to Portugal this time. And
Portugal.
Then getting to Canada. So, yeah, so it should be a nice trip. That'll keep Michelle happy. And that way I can...
you can be a Vasco da Gama.
In other news, we've got the big Nationals and IPMS next year, and they open up the hotels. And so I got my timings wrong, of course.
Oh, no, so you missed out on the hotel room.
Well, I thought I did. So there was the Hilton, and but right next to it at Fort Wayne is the Marriott, and I got a room at the Marriott with no trouble at all.
Oh, cool.
I couldn't do it online for some reason, so I ended up ringing the US and got online, and I think it was about 24 hours afterwards and said, yeah, we've got a room for you. So
nice. That
worked out well. So that's all booked now, ready for next year. And I've been talking with that banjo picking hayseed, Kentucky Dave, about, what we're going to be doing when I get over there and when to fly in. So I've got that all sorted out now. So I've just got to book flights next year. And
busy lad.
Yeah, so that'll be... Unfortunately, it's in the same time as the Brisbane show next year.
That's a shame.
So I won't be going to Brisbane next year, unfortunately. But never mind. That is what it is.
Well, we'll have to try for the year after then.
That's pretty much it for me.
Cool.
What we can do now is, how about we dive into the mailbox and have a look at what we have got. And Andy writes in, g'day fellas, my wife dragged me into a Hobby Lobby the other day, and as I was hiding my head in shame, I happened to glance down an aisle and see these. They're Metal Earth model kits.
Oh, I know them, yeah.
I was curious, so I picked up the UH1 Huey, and it appears to be basically a photo etched model, so it probably won't go well. Now, he sent some pictures of these Metal Earth. Now, I remember these Metal Earth ones, and they were just plain metal. But now they're coming as coloured photo etch.
Oh, yeah.
So...
I built one of them once.
Did you really?
Yeah, I built the windmill for me mum.
Oh, okay.
Since she's a Dutchie.
And so I am familiar with Metal Earth, but I didn't realise that they were coloured photo etch now. So... it's a good way.
They're a lot of fun. No glue needed.
Oh, really?
It's all tabs, little tabs. You just fold the tabs over.
Oh, okay. Well, it'll be interesting to see
something
how that
different.
turns out.
Yeah, there's something different. Yeah.
Well, thanks for that, Andy. Andrew Measy writes in, hey from
Measy.
UZ.
Measy.
I said Measy.
You did.
I I thought you said meaty.
No.
No.
Clean your ears out, Julian.
Okay, that must be me then.
Just wondering if you can give us a shout out on your next episode for events. We can certainly do that. So, New Zealand IPMS Nationals 2025 is being held at Hobby Expo 2025, which is on the 18th and 19th of October from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. Now, here we go. All of these.
The Wiranaki, Ware, Taonga, which is formerly the Expression Centre.
At 836 Ferguson Drive, Upper Hutt, Wellington. Show themes are the 85th anniversary of the Battle of Britain and the Royal New Zealand Air Force in the Pacific.
Oh, cool. Lots of Corsairs.
Several vendors on site and a large-scale train show is co-located at the same event that weekend. So go and check that out, guys. That should be really
that'd be
a lot of
awesome,
fun.
yeah.
Yep. And keep saying we've got to get across
Yeah,
New
we're going to
Zealand.
get the NZ.
We've got to get there.
We will. One
We
day.
will indeed. Next one comes from George Leos, and he writes in that it was
Lilios.
Lilios. He is the president of IPMS Patriot Scale Modelers. If you remember, we had a couple of those guys on one of our previous shows, and he's just writing back that thanking us for actually taking it on and promoting the show, and also he congratulated us on our episode 218, which was about modelling in flight.
Yes.
He said it was excellent and spot on. And he mentions that while he doesn't build many planes, the 3 that he's completed so far are all in-flight models, so which is really good. So no problem at all.
Oh, just look at the photos, Dave.
Oh, sorry, the photos. So there's a P-47 and the GB.
Yeah, the GB done up like Batman. That's really cool. And I'm interested in the markings on the P-47.
It's odd. I think it's some sort of cartoon.
That's a Gundam thing.
Is it? It is a Gundam thing. It's actually a Gundam inside it.
Oh, is it?
As a pilot.
Oh, very cool.
Very cool indeed.
Very, very cool. Love your work.
Our good mate from
Black Hat.
Black Hat Scale Models, Stuart, writes in, "Hey there, OTB crew. Thought I'd drop you a line and say how much I hate packing for an overseas trip. Are we jealous? Not much. I've located all the clothes I need, exchanged some dollaroos for those euros, and boy, we need to do something about the exchange rate.
Yeah.
Tell me about it. I've just booked my accommodation in Paris, and that nearly killed me.
Yes.
I made sure to get enough undergarments so I don't have to do the Aussie Army trick of how do you get 4 days out of a pair of undies. Right side, inside out, reverse side, inside out, reverse side, right. Anyway, I'm about now. I'll be boarding a massive plane headed to Germany for 2 weeks of holiday and research. I'll be visiting the Deutsche Panzer Museum, World War II sites in Hamburg, Berlin, Nuremberg, Munich, and Frankfurt, as well as going to Dachau. Nothing like having the life drained out of you for a day.
Oh, yeah.
Then on to Scale Model Challenge. So, Dave, if you have a message you'd like me to deliver to those crazy Yanks from Triple P Podcast, I'll promise to catch up with them and drink TJ Halia under the table. I'm all cashed up, so with the current exchange rate, I think I can buy about 2.5 drinks. Should be enough to sink an American who is used to their weak beer. I'm also going to go to and visit the Overloon Museum to see their magnificent Operation Market Garden displays.
Jealous.
And get a real feel for what those airborne troops faced in 1944. I'll be sure to check in along the way and maybe even have an appearance and shout out from some special guests. Take care, lads. I've been called to begin boarding. That's cheers from Stuart at Black Hat Scale Models.
Oh, can't wait to see the videos.
No, I might even get him on the show afterwards to have a chat.
Yeah, good
when he
idea.
gets back. In fact, I think, and our other good friend, Clayton Ockerby, is also going to SMC this year.
Oh.
So we might do an episode, get both of those cats on the,
that
on
sounds
the
like a great
podcast
idea.
and have a chat
Yeah.
and see what they got to say.
Definitely.
I think it'd be really cool. And am I jealous? No, not at all. Much. Keith Thompson writes in, "Hi guys, just a quick reminder that the South Australian Scale Model Expo is on in 2 weeks' time. It is the 11th and 12th of October at the John Dunning Centre, Prince Alfred College in Kent Town, South Australia. Entries are rolling in. Trailers are fully booked, and we have some great prizes on offer thanks to the generous support of our sponsors. They got 3 themes this year. First one is a commemoration of 80 years since victory in Europe / victory over Japan Day. The 40th anniversary of Formula One in Adelaide.
That's a bit mean.
It is a bit mean, sorry. And big stompy things. To celebrate our themes, we came up with this. And there's a picture of Godzilla holding an F1 car while looks like a P-51 zips past shooting at Godzilla.
Very cool.
I thought you'd be impressed with that, Ian.
I like the poster.
And just a reminder, entries can only be lodged online, so visit their website, which is www.sapma.com.au/expo. That's from Keith Thompson, who's the Expo Director, and we wish you all the best and hope you have a fantastic show.
I love the poster.
That actually clashes with our weekend. I think we're away doing our Interclub that weekend.
Is it?
Yeah,
Okay.
I think so. But, we've got to get across there sometime. We nearly got there once, but unfortunately we didn't make it. And Mason from PatCon, he just reached out to say good day. Thanks for having us on the show. Really appreciated us helping boost their signal, and just wanted you to know that I'll be thinking of you guys when I hit the raffle table in 2 days, and pretty much at every raffle event at a show from now on.
No worries, Mason.
It was our pleasure having you on.
Yes, definitely.
All righty. On now to the great Patreon Wheel of Fortune, and we've got a T-shirt to give away for this one to see who our lucky winner is. As the wheel spins and it comes up on a name, and we have Craig Stephen Stanley.
Stephen.
Is it Stephen or Stephen? Stephen. Either way, Craig, I'll be reaching out to you to organise to get a
size.
A size, yes, that's important. Better get a T-shirt out in the mail to you. All right. We've got an interview coming up with, we're going to be looking at safety in the hobby. So how about we have a very quick break, and then we'll come back and have a chat about that. And that gives me great pleasure to welcome to the show Bredon Wrigley. G'day, Bredon.
Hi, guys. Thanks for having me on.
Now, Brendan's popped on because we're having a talk about safety in the hobby. I think it's a subject we haven't really sort of touched on.
Not for a long while, anyway.
And I think it's important that we sort of, come back and revisit it, because hasn't been a few things lately, but certainly it's something that we tend to sort of ignore. And it's been back of mind for me when I watch like people on YouTube and they're excuse me, and they're spraying, and there's no sort of protective gear or anything like that, or and you read these horror stories about injuries through knives and scalpel blades and all this sort of stuff. So I thought we need to sort of really just take a step back and perhaps have a chat about safety. And Bredon, what's your background?
So my background is environment and sustainability. So I've been doing that for the last 16 odd years. So while it's sort of not the health side of it, the environment, humans are part of the environment. So there's a lot of linkages between the wider environment and sort of health within modelling.
And you actually recommended this as a subject. You sent me an email, or perhaps, 2 months ago now?
Yeah, when the first ban hit Canada with the Tamiya sprays, and then I thought, it might be a worthwhile topic to see what some of the environmental impacts has had on the hobby and how that affects modelers' health.
And so before we sort of dive into the subject a bit more, maybe just to give listeners a bit of more information about you. So tell us about your hobbying journey.
Yeah, so my hobbying journey has been typical for most modelers. I started as a kid, mainly doing cars with my dad, and my uncle was into World War II stuff, but I wasn't allowed in the model room there, so I just pop my head in and go, oh, that looks pretty cool. And then sort of as I grew up, sort of got into wargaming, so I did Games Workshop predominantly. As I got older into teens, then the modelling dropped off and the other usual distractions came on board.
Yep.
And then sort of picked up the hobby into mid-late 20s and have been going ever since.
And you're based up in Queensland?
Yeah, I'm in Rockhampton.
You're part of the infamous Rocky crew.
I am, that's right.
Cool. For listeners who perhaps don't know, the Rocky crew are a bunch of guys who, well, let's say that they're cut from a different cloth.
That's a nice way to put it, thanks.
I mean, because you guys got this modelling show that you run in the pub up there, haven't you?
That's right, yeah.
How does that not get untidy?
It stays relatively civil during the day, but then we have a dinner afterwards, and then drinks in the rooms after that, so it can get a bit loose then.
Awesome.
I think Ed and I caught up with most of you guys at Queensland in the Brisbane show last year.
Yep.
And you all came down in a bus or something, wasn't it?
Yeah, it was a bus this year. Last year we jammed into a car and decided it wasn't enough, but this year we came down in a minibus, so a bit more room.
Yeah,
it's a fair trip for you guys anyway.
It is. And just shout out, what's the name of the your club up there?
It's the Rockhampton Scale Modelers Association. So we got a Facebook page and all that. You can look it up if you're interested.
Yeah, there you go. The boys from Rocky.
Yep. Great talented bunch of guys too.
Actually, there are. There's some sensational sort of model builders in your group. And some of the stuff I saw last time when we all caught up together was just, mind-blowing.
Yeah, I'm fairly fortunate to be surrounded by some pretty good, talented guys that are willing to share skills and info, so really good.
All right, let's get on to the subject. So, health and safety. I mean, we want to. It's a beautiful hobby. I think the world's most beautiful hobby, but we want to do it sort of safely. So I think one of the first things we sort of need to kick off in is talk about perhaps personal protective equipment and why we should be wearing it.
Okay. So PPE, I, like most people, go, oh, I should be putting PPE on halfway through the process.
Yes.
So I'm not do as I say, not as I do kind of thing.
Yep.
But yeah, so the point of having nitrile gloves and eye protection and that sort of thing is to create a physical barrier against different chemicals that we come across. Some of these chemicals can be pretty nasty in higher doses. Some people get reactions to smaller doses, and it can be you have no reaction, and then the next day, well, your skin doesn't fall off, but you start having skin issues with some resins or paints and that sort of thing. So yeah, having that physical barrier, particularly eyes as well. Not too many people get chemicals in the eye. I have had floor cleaner in my eyes from as a teenager in my youth, so that was fun. Put me out of action for a few days. So it is important to have eye protection as well.
When I'm generally sort of spraying or painting, I've usually got my glasses on. Although they're not safety glasses, it does do at least one bit and sort of, will help sort of stuff getting into your eyes. But, a bit of splash of, paint thinner in your eyes, you know about it when it happens.
Definitely.
Oh, yeah.
Yep.
We've all been there.
Yep. You know what when it happened for me?
When?
It's when I you know how you have like a jar of paint that's gone hard at the bottom, and so
Yep.
you're like, oh, I'll just put some thinners in there and I'll mix it up so that
It splashes back as you
yeah,
mix it.
exactly, because
Yep.
it's thick and you don't expect it to move at all, and then suddenly it does, and then it
splashes back.
and then the layer of thinner that you've poured in on top will go up
Yep.
straight vertically
Yes.
into your eyes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not nice.
Not nice at all. paint manufacturers always say we should work in a well-ventilated area, and there's a number of points we can sort of talk to about that. But as I said, I'm horrified watching on YouTube. They'll just pick up the airbrush and just start spraying, and there's no paint booth. It seems like it's a fairly enclosed area. I certainly don't see them wearing any sort of protective stuff at all, and I'm just horrified by the fact that they sort of do that.
It doesn't look sexy on camera.
That's it.
Well, I mean, like, being serious, like they set it up like a photography studio, right?
Yeah.
Because they want it to look good on camera and well lit, and no outside noises. But that means it's a closed room, isn't it?
It is. It is. So, let's talk about the minimum level of protection that we should be giving ourselves when we're actually spraying paint.
So that would change depending on the type of paints you're using, but just some form of ventilation, depending on the room you're in. Windows, doors is better than just sitting in a closed box, puffing in all the fumes. Ideally, some form of extraction, whether it's an old oven range hood or a proper paint booth, just that would be sort of the minimum, depending on what the types of chemicals. Some hotter paints, or like 2-pack, for example, with the automotive, like a mask would be appropriate. The other thing, it's not just paints too, like resin sanding. You get all this resin dust.
And I'd like to get to the resin dust down the track, but
sure.
But I think with the paint, it's the atomization of the paint. And that's the key thing that we got to consider here, because I think you can quite happily brush paint without any sort of major issues, and sort of having to, apart from the smell, perhaps if you're using an acrylic
You
or
mean
a lacquer.
lacquer?
Sorry. But when you actually spray, you're atomizing the paint, and by atomizing it, it gets down small enough that it can get through all your biological protections within your body, like gets past your nasal passage, those hairs that capture that, and then get right down in the lungs. And that's where the actual danger is.
And that's where a normal dust mask doesn't cut it.
Well, it does give you a level of protection dust
Not
mask,
much.
but it's not enough.
Yeah, you need a proper...
Better than nothing.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's better than nothing, but it's in my book, it's not enough. You need a full-on...
Organic particle filter.
I think it's organic, but
So the main gases that come off when we're talking atomized paint, a lot of them are thinner paint. So it's the VOC gases, so the volatile organic compound gases. That's generally the smell, and those compounds are sort of the cause of some of the issues we're seeing in other countries at the moment. Those chemicals associated with that, they're the harmful ones that will give you grief.
And that's why Canada's turn around and block paints coming in, do you think? Or?
That's part of the reason. It's the health side, but it's also it's two-pronged. It's the health side being the actual individual, but then it's the environment side for the wider usage. And the environment side's more for paints in general, so like automotive or bigger, larger volumes of paint. We've just been caught up on the environmental side, but the health side's still quite applicable to the hobby.
Yep. I mean, I won't even use rattle can stuff without putting on my protective breathing apparatus, for want of a better word. Mm-hmm. And I know it's effective and working properly, because once I'm wearing it, I can't even smell lacquer paints at all. I'm getting, just really no smells coming through whatsoever.
Well, that's a good sign then.
Which is a good sign. So it means I've chosen the correct filter to actually go on that.
And speaking of filters, you should be changing them regularly.
Well, how regularly should you change them? Because I've had this now for about 2 years and haven't changed it yet.
I'd change it.
I don't know.
I think it would be safe for you to change it. Yes, but, I mean, we all build at different rates.
Yeah,
we're all putting in different amounts of hours, right? Like I know Marissa, she changes hers like every month or something.
Oh, really? Does she?
Yeah. She's super religious about her protections.
Yeah.
Like but remember, she's doing commissioned work.
Yeah. So she's constantly working.
And don't forget, women usually take care of their health a lot better than we blokes do.
That's a fact.
That's very true. Yeah,
Very true.
She won't even take the mask off when she's like still sweeping up resin that she's like, for example, when it comes to dealing with resin, she'll sand and prep it in water.
Yeah.
And then afterwards she'll wash the parts like twice with separate containers of water to make sure that none of it sticks to it. She doesn't leave anything behind,
Well, and I still want to stay in the paint because we still haven't sort of finished that part yet. And of course, the other barrier that we can use is actually having a paint booth.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And that paint booth obviously needs to be vented outside.
Yes.
Although it's funny, I was watching a video on YouTube just a couple of days ago, and a guy had it vented into like this. It looked like a muffler, but it was actually a charcoal thing.
Oh, charcoal filter.
A charcoal filter that sort of captured everything, and he had it inside the house. And they put the charcoal filter in a cardboard box just underneath, and he claimed, and I'm using the quotation marks, that he couldn't detect any smells, although I'd be a bit dubious about that.
Well, I could say something about that, but that would be coming back to the resin thing.
Oh, okay. But by all means, go ahead, Brendan.
Sorry. I was just going to say, I do know with spray booths there are some water-based ones as well. I still think external ventilation is your best option, but there's ones that go through, have the waterfall on the front and then the water bucket option, so to try and trap all that nasties. But
but the water will only trap the atomized paint. It won't trap the actual smells, though, will it?
Yeah. So that's so it's combination. If you have to do it inside, like for whatever reason, then you'd probably be looking. I'll be looking at a water and a charcoal, and just in small doses. But I think your best bet is outside ventilation.
So from what I understand, the waterfall ones are still a regular spray booth that vacates any air outside. It just means that it's less. You know how like normally you would for an air one you would have a filter and you would just replace the filter regularly, right?
Yeah.
The waterfall one has like this curtain of water that is like this moving catchment for any blasting forward, paint that's going down range.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's got a filter as well. I don't own one of these things, and
I believe some of them do.
Yeah. I think some of them do, in fact, have them.
Yeah. But in any case, it's just a sort of extra level, and I don't know necessarily if it's a gimmick or not, and how effective is it if it is effective.
A couple of people I know who do have one, they swear by it. They reckon it's fantastic. To me, it seems like at some point you've got to clean out that, all that contaminated water. So it seems like an extra step that I'm too lazy to do.
Right.
I'd rather just vent it out into atmosphere and let the rest of the world worry about it.
Mm-hmm. Well, I mean, that's realistically what's done everywhere, right? I mean,
to be fair, when I say
look at scientific laboratories and they've got fume cupboards, right?
Yeah.
It's the same sort of thing.
But my paint booth, it has a filter, so it sucks the air through. It goes through the filter first, and then it obviously vents it out. So I am actually capturing the majority of those particulates. It's interesting that I've got mine set up to go through my window in my build room, and I've got a flywire screen that it just sort of blows out through. And after I take it down, sometimes if I'm spraying a light colour, I can see the outline on the on the fly screen. So the filter is still allowing particulates through. That obviously must be small enough to get past the filter, and they're still sort of then hitting something else when they go out. So
maybe you need a multi-filter system.
Well, I don't care because it's going out, so I'm not fussed. You know what I mean?
I think that's the advantage of the water ones. I think it'd capture a lot more of that finer particle in the water.
Yeah.
You're replacing your filter less because that. heavier and finer stuff has got to go through an additional barrier before it gets to your filter. So
yeah.
it's an option, but yeah, they're all work.
As a matter of perspective, like there's like there's a minimum sort of standard level of protection, and then there's like infinite levels of thing you can go after that, right? I mean, it's not we're just painting models here. We're not like the Teflon factory where it's killing every bird in a 50-mile radius. We're not at that point, so it's not really worth worrying, right?
But what we are talking about is your own individual health and protection. So, as a minimum, I would say you need to be wearing a mask with filters that can be changed out.
Eyewear.
You need to be having eyewear in case of splashback.
Mm-hmm.
I think the eyewear one is situational, because you wouldn't necessarily need that for airbrushing, but you might need it for anything where
you splash some in your face and you're mixing.
Yeah, I wasn't airbrushing. I was like mixing stuff up. I mean, that's when you're gonna that's what chemists would do, right? They would have eye protection when they're dealing with chemicals in jars and containers and things like that. That's when it's going to happen.
Face mask, eye protection.
We're all amateur chemists in this hobby, right?
And also some type of spray booth to evacuate the fumes
system.
And gloves.
And gloves, yes.
Because remember, a lot of this stuff can be absorbed through the skin.
That's very true. That's very true. All right, well, let's now talk about the resin side of stuff, because resin has been in our hobby for quite a while now in various forms, but in recent times has really taken off with the advent of 3D printing.
Yes. So, can I start off?
Sure.
Can I kick this one off with what I was going to say earlier? So there was a YouTube video of a guy who actually had one of those sensors that measure how much toxic stuff is in the air quality thing, and he actually had one of those in his room that he does his 3D printing in.
Right.
And he found that the charcoal filters weren't doing anything.
Oh, really?
Yep.
So when the charcoal filters that Julian's referring to, when you buy a 3D printer, you got the option of buying some filters that you place inside the box to capture that nasty smell.
Yeah. And whether I don't know, it depends on how much printing you do, whether it'll remove the smell or not. But it's not doing anything for the actual air quality. Was the important part, that takeaway from what his exercise was doing. He had a closed room. He had a 3D printer in it, and it's doing the resin thing, and it wasn't doing anything as far as air quality goes. And he could go in there days later, and it wouldn't make any difference because it's still a closed box.
Yeah.
So I mean, wear a mask.
Yep.
Yeah, wear a mask. Open as many windows and doors as you can. I use a portable fan to try and push the air towards the windows as well, to do that sort of draw fresh air in and push air out.
So I want to throw this part to Ian, because you used to work for an air conditioning company.
Yep.
And how there's CFM, and how air doesn't necessarily act the way you want it to.
No, it doesn't. No.
Air can go back the way it's work against the airflow of your fans because of the way you've designed the space that it's passing through.
Yep. It does, mate.
It doesn't, because I've seen some. I've got one YouTuber that I watch, and I know he's built up this sort of, it's kind of like a spray booth kind of thing, where it's like a box that sort of has like a thing that sort of funnels. He's shaped this box to have this thing that points towards a window, and then he's stuck a fan up there in the corner. And I'm looking at it, and I'm like, that's not doing anything.
to use a Julianism, it would be janky.
Yeah, it would be janky.
Janky.
So it's how a long time ago, before buses had air conditioning, and the driver would get that little tiny fan that would blow on him, right? It was like a fan like that, and he stuck it up there in the corner, and it's not doing anything.
No. No, it doesn't. No, you got to have it in the right position.
Yeah, I mean, there's only at least if you buy a spray booth, that thing's been engineered so that it sucks all the air out past through what it's designed to pass it through. You know, and even the professionals get that stuff wrong. You know, there's like, you know, engine intake manifolds that will have like dead zones in it where it just air just sticks.
Exactly.
You know? It doesn't go anywhere.
Yeah.
Well, my 3D printer, when I've used it, the smell is just to the point where I just don't use it anymore. It needs to be in a garage.
Well, what would you maybe consider having like a purpose cabinet built for it? Where you can actually have inside a cabinet, where you can have like a door that you can open to access. So you only open the door when you're accessing it. Have a vent in one corner, suction fan in the other side, and that way, whatever air gets drawn in and blown out the other way.
I would accept. I don't print enough to go to all that trouble to do.
Yeah, when I first started getting into printing, I saw this video of a guy and he showed his setup, and he had it set up in a cupboard, you know, like a built-in cupboard into the house, right?
Yep.
And so he would open up the doors and there's his printer and stuff, and then above it he had like an air vent that vented into the ceiling space, which is a better idea.
Great for getting rid of all the vermin in your ceiling space.
Yeah, I mean, out of sight, out of mind, I suppose.
Right. Who cares if the mice are starting to grow two heads?
Yeah, as long as the air doesn't come back the way come back down, you know.
Yeah, so I think the gold standard is, as you mentioned earlier, like a scientific fume cabinet, but for hobbyists, it's not. We don't
viable.
Can't justify it. The other thing that's potential to look at, and manufacturers, in the long-term history of resin printing, have gone that way more recently, is the water-based stuff. So they are looking at different products on the front end to help make it more livable with, I guess, or better for your health and for the environment. So there's the water-based ones, and we're seeing sort of different innovations in that space. Like they've tried these charcoal filters. Yeah, some people say they're a gimmick. Some people like them. I don't have any because I bought all my printers before they were a thing. But yeah, I like the idea of a big air filter in the room that you've mentioned in other episodes, Dave.
Well, it's funny. I do have that. I've got a air purifier that I purposely bought on the back. Well, my son bought one over in Western Australia and said, "Hey, you got to get onto this." And I bought one. It's designed for a full house, but I'll just use it in my build room, and it's running constantly. And anecdotally, the dust levels have been reduced significantly within my build room now. I'm not seeing the dust on the shelves as much as it used to be anywhere near that. And interestingly too, if I spray a bit of paint without turning on the extractor fan or the paint booth, immediately the air purifier kicks up to super high level, the highest level it can go, and starts. So it detects the particulates in the environment and will adjust the fan depending on how it detects it. I don't know. It's pretty clever technology. I think this cost me about I want to say it's on special. It's about $400, and I think it's the best $400 I've ever invested.
Yeah.
Because, and this is where we're getting down to the road in regards to sort of sanding as well. It's picking all that sort of dust and particulates up in the air and cleaning through the filter.
Yeah.
So
resin sanding, you got to be.
Well, let's get into let's get into resin. Let's get into resin sanding.
Wet sand,
because
that's the way I do it.
Resin itself
is highly dangerous.
It's extremely toxic.
Yeah.
If you allow, if it gets into you,
if you breathe it in, because your body can't expel it.
It's like anything really. I mean, this is where all the issues with the people who make those stone
bench
tops and all that. Was it silicosis? Is that the
word? Silicosis.
Yeah. So it's the new age version of asbestosis.
Yes.
Now that that's gone, it's now silicosis.
Yes.
We might have a resinicosis in a few 10, 15 years time.
But even people who work with concrete and cutting bricks and all that sort of stuff as well, they're susceptible to it as well. And again, it's where you're getting
you get the concreter's cough.
It's where you're getting this sort of, very small particulates getting down into the lungs itself, and the body, like you said, can't get rid of it.
Yeah.
And it's
Builds up.
resin is extremely similar in what it can do to the body as well. And so we come back to the sanding side of stuff. And if you're sanding resin, you are creating particulates that are then circulating in the atmosphere where you're working.
Yep.
So the choices you've got, well, first of all, to protect yourself, you must be wearing a mask. And the same sort of mask that you use when, I'd suggest that when you're painting, it won't let those particulates through. Or would you suggest a different one,
heavier
Brendan?
particles. So,
Yep.
yeah. If you're using the same one you use for paint, would more than cover
Yep.
for the resin particles, yeah.
And you've got a slight... So just using one of those little paper masks, those P2 masks, is just not going to cut it.
No,
No.
I don't think so. No,
Not at all.
That's why I wet sand.
I mean, if you've got one of the bigger masks, just wear it. I mean, it's not that different from the smaller masks.
What in one of the bigger masks?
Like if you've got like a respirator, right?
Yep.
Right, that's what you should be using for painting.
Yep.
Right, those little tiny paper masks, the little sort of
Yeah,
white
yeah, yeah,
white
yeah.
ones that go
Yeah,
over
yeah,
your face.
yeah,
I'm not talking
yeah.
about like your medical type ones. I'm talking about the kind of things that you see people on TV use when they're cutting wood and stuff like that. I mean, that's not good enough, really.
Yes. Yeah.
If you're doing painting, it's
Yep.
not good enough. So just get the appropriate one, and that can be your only measure.
Yeah.
Right?
Yep.
Like that's the mask you use for everything. Just use that. And as for the wet sanding, so the thing is, like the whole point of it is like the water stops it from being in the air, right? The thing is, at some point, water dries up.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah.
let's say that you've
when
got
it dries up, it solidifies.
yeah. So when you say you're wet sanding into a bowl of water, right? You should be taking care of that bowl of water afterwards.
I always
right?
do. As soon as I finish, I get rid of the bowl.
Right? You need to be. Are you all right, Dave?
Yeah, go on.
Yeah. Yeah. So, just make sure that you're taking care of the whole path of it all the way along. Right?
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. No half measures with resin.
Yeah. Yeah. Especially if you're doing it like some of us, will do our modeling in a garage.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us will do it indoors. Especially if you're doing it indoors, you don't want that stuff to stick around.
No,
Right?
not
'Cause
one bit.
It's in your living space then.
Yes, it's with you. Yes.
So I've also got one of those little mini vacuum cleaners. It's only a semi-recent purchase. I'm a big sucker for all the hobby tools, so that's a
Oh, those little handheld ones.
Yeah.
yeah.
I've got one. They're
I've
great.
been itching to give that a crack, but I think that'll help for just general cleanup because I probably should wet sand, but as I said earlier, I'm do as I say, not as I do.
Yes.
But yeah, so just to help keep the dust level down, because my build room is also my display and paint room. So, and where I live is a dusty area, so it's a constant battle anyway. So
Yeah.
the added bonus is the health side as well as the dust.
Yes. What's up, Dave? You
Oh, no, I can hear funny noises, that's all. I'm just wondering what it was. Yeah, that noise. What's
That's
that?
me.
Is that you?
Yeah. Just my foot against the bench.
Itching you up.
When you're cleaning up, so let's for those who've never done wet sanding before, let's actually talk about how you actually do it. So there's two ways. You can just wet the actual sanding paper or the sanding stick you're using and just use that, but that'll quickly dry out, won't it?
Yeah. Plus a lot of sanding sticks can't handle water.
Yeah. So how do you do it?
Well, I
Ian?
go to the local hardware supply shop and buy all different grades of wet and dry sandpaper, which is usually the black sandpaper.
Yep.
And then I have like a large plastic container, which I have 3/4 with water in there. And especially with resin's great because you can just put it in the water, hold it in the water even, and sand it. And as long as you keep it continually wet, you're not going to get any. Well, you're going to totally 99% minimise dust particles. And then when I finished, I dispose of the water, clean out the bowl, get it ready for the next heat. It's quick and easy.
And when you're cleaning up any sort of, like, if you've got any resin dust around, certainly use a wet cloth just to...
Yep,
to
definitely.
pick it up
wet
and-
cloth. Yeah, wet cloth, a damp cloth.
Yeah, damp cloth, I should say, yeah.
Yeah,
And just chuck it away.
yeah, because a dry cloth, you run the risk of just throwing it back into the air.
All right. Anything else on...
Probably the same with the vacuum cleaner. I'm just thinking that might not be good for resin dust now. Just general cleanup then.
yeah, that's a point.
Well, this is the classic, workplace thing. Like, you're not supposed to do it this way.
Yeah.
But this is how I do it.
Yeah.
That sentiment.
Yeah.
Which is like every workplace that that deals with like sort of physical things anyway.
Yep, totally agree.
Every workshop.
Let's talk about some of the glues that we use now, because obviously there's some smelly glues, there's some very sticky glues. I saw a picture of a and let me open it up now, and nobody else can see this except for me. But Sprue Pie with Frets actually posted something on our Facebook page. It says, true story, one of these exploded on the upper shelf of my arty station a couple of months ago, forming a glue circle. And it is a super thin super glue in one of those plastic jars. And there's a picture of it, and the bottom of it is just sort of like shattered, which is really weird. And the glue's just sort of exploded everywhere.
You're right.
It looks like the BSI type glue. That container, the Bob Smith Industries stuff.
It looks similar to. It's not Bob Smith. This is called Joe Hand glue.
I bet you that's just a sort of rebrand because
Possibly,
even the label looks the same,
Yeah,
not just the
possibly.
container.
Well, Johan, they used to build cars.
But it doesn't
Car
matter.
models.
I mean, like all even though there's different types of super glue, it's still just super glue, right?
Yeah, treat it with care.
Yeah, I mean, apart from the fact that it just dries.
If you get on your fingers, don't rub your eyes.
Yes.
The other thing it could be too is if you put it near a windowsill, like UV rays from the sun will deteriorate plastic. So it could
Correct.
be a combination of the inside chemicals and the UV rays on the outside. I've had a couple of plastic containers, not full of glue or anything, but just have turned brittle, or storage tubs just around the house. So yeah, it's just something that is also to be mindful of.
Yeah.
Also, it has an exothermic reaction when you dry it quickly, right? So that kind of heat can do things.
Yes, you got a point there. Yes.
Yeah, if you've ever dropped it on your lap, or even similar with curing resin, if you manage to get a little bit on your arm and go out in the sun, it gets a bit warm.
I bet.
Similar with some types of super glue. Like, obviously, suppliers over the years have changed their formulas as a result of policy and various other reasons or economics for economy. So a lot of the hotter super glues seem to have dropped off the market, but they still have a chemical reaction because that's how they work. So
Yep.
yeah.
But even something silly like gluing your fingers together, that's still something that can happen without sort of thinking too hard. That's me how I know.
And let's not forget that debonder isn't exactly healthy for you either.
Yes.
Oh, isn't it?
No.
No. You think something that can dissolve super glue is going to be good for your body?
Oh, that's a good point. Never thought of that.
I mean,
when you start drilling it, there's a lot of different chemicals that are associated. Not like most people think of glues and paints as we're talking about, and resins, but there's a lot of other chemicals that are used directly or associated with the hobby that aren't exactly great for you.
Yes.
Depending on which method you use, DIY photo etch, there's some pretty nasty chemicals to do that. So
it's
being mindful
the
of
chemicals
all
are
this
designed
stuff.
to dissolve metal. So
Exactly.
yeah, if you don't know,
if can't deal with it, you're not going to.
I mean, for those who don't know, like the photo etch process is basically You have
You're using an acid.
yeah, it's basically an acid that eats away at a sheet of metal to create the shapes that you want. You know, and you're just using like an image type thing that's the photo part.
Yep.
To tell it where it should eat away and where it shouldn't.
Yes.
You know, and then there's also your super glue accelerators. Then have you ever smelt those? They smell sweet.
Yes,
that's a bad sign.
Yeah, yes.
Yep.
I don't know. I use just water generally to accelerate my.
Yeah, I've tried using
water,
that, and that
doesn't work.
It didn't work for me.
Oh. It did for a particular.
The accelerators themselves work a lot better. Like water can work in some circumstances, but I do find that the specific accelerator really works.
Yeah, like you can see it harden before your very eyes.
Exactly.
Like if you've got the super glue and it's like in a bead, like it's nice and round and smooth.
Yep.
And you hit it with the accelerator, it'll dry like that.
Okay.
Much better.
I don't think I've got an accelerator anywhere, so.
Yeah.
But I get the quick drying, like the 10 second sort of, the super thin stuff that dries really quick. So.
Yeah, because I mean, like BSI, especially, they've got like a lot of different super
Bob
glues.
Smith Industries, BSI.
Yeah, they've got a lot of different super glues. Like famously, the BSI Gold doesn't leave any residue.
Oh, really?
Yeah. So it's good
for glass.
Yeah, good for glasses, right? For transparencies. But the fact that most super glues do leave residue should be a sign that that's giving off gases that can leave visible marks, visible residue. We've all seen an episode of CSI, where you're like, oh crap, I don't have my dusting kit. Oh, thank God we've got this super glue that I can leave right next to this fingerprint and make it visible. And when you feel it, like if you were to actually touch that, it's like sandpaper, right? It's like a lot of material that's sticking to some surface just from gases in the air.
Yeah. Yeah.
So that's not healthy, not at all.
No. So be very careful around glues when you're using them.
We've all read the label on the Tamiya extra thin.
The material safety data sheet. I think that's a correct term. So all these products should have a material safety data sheet that's either printed on the back of them in small stuff you can't read, or you can go to the actual manufacturer's website, one would hope, fingers crossed, and actually be able to access the material safety data sheet, so you can actually read what the manufacturers recommend in regards to how to actually use the particular thing that you're using.
Yep. Another one we haven't touched on is people that use those hot wire cutters on foam.
Oh, really? That's interesting.
Right.
And laser etch and cutters too.
Yeah, like we're talking about lots of nasty stuff popping in the air when you're using them. So, yeah, definitely using them, eye protection and ventilation. And
going to have to get you a stool, man, because that's echoing through.
Oh, you're just whinging.
It's echoing into the microphones.
There you go.
I'm going to buy you a special stool now so you can put your feet
ottoman.
on it.
I want an ottoman.
All right, I'll get you an ottoman.
All right, cool.
Yes, so expanded polystyrene is what the actual foam is that they generally sort of cut through.
Correct.
And styrene, when you melt it or burn it, it puts off black soot and a particularly sort of bad smell as well.
Yep.
Anybody's melted a model kit will know this.
Yes.
Yep.
That stuff ain't good.
Nope.
So again, when you're sort of doing what Ian says and you're cutting your beautiful landscaping you're doing on your for your model,
for your diorama,
you need to make sure again that you're ventilating and at least, the very least, extracting those fumes out into wherever you're extracting to, and wear a mask at the same time.
Yep.
I like to do my foam stuff outside because styrofoam and that. Well, depending on the type of styrofoam, it can get messy anyway. So if it's outside, it's less cleanup.
I'll tell you another little nasty one if you get it in your eyes. We're talking about using protective glass. You know that little flock, that grass, that flock?
Static grass.
Oh, you get a bit of that in your eye and you know about it. You never do it again.
Well, actually, while I was doing a little bit of digging around, one that came up, which I hadn't considered, which is along the flocking line, is microbeads and like fake snow and stuff. So the EU has been in discussions about putting bans or restrictions on intentional microplastics, which are a big environmental issue. But yeah, I hadn't considered like a lot of flocks and snow products would have these in it. So when you're using them, there's chances of breathing in microplastics.
It reminds me of how everyone, that sort of trivia about the original Wizard of Oz movie and how like, oh yeah, look at all the snow, which is actually asbestos that they're sprinkling down on them. Remember that?
Yes.
Everyone used to say, oh, Violet, they'd pause the movie. Did you know that this is asbestos?
And wasn't also the silver paint they used on the Tin Man was toxic as well?
Oh.
Yeah, so historically there are, like, as we all know, there's paints like we've had lead, chromium, cadmium in the sort of 70s, 80s, 90s and earlier. So
yeah, well, I mean,
good old enamel paints.
A lot of that sort of thing.
Well, I mean,
for our benefit.
Unfortunately, the trap you fall into is that that was a thing back in the day before we knew better, but now we know better.
Yeah,
like,
we still do it because we're lazy.
Well, we know more. We know better than then, but in 20, 30 years, they're going to say the same thing about us.
Oh, of course.
Yep. Especially with the emerging tech like the printing or the laser cutting and etching, like.
Well, at least the laser cutters usually have incorporated.
Yeah.
It's all enclosed. Right. There's a ventilated thing that that comes with it. And you have to pipe it out a door or a window.
Yeah, I'll even we do the same even with your wargaming stuff. Like back in the day, they used lead alloys for their figures, and they're picking them up, moving them around, and we think about that nowadays.
The white metal,
crazy. And then they've moved into different metals. Like I know Games Workshop went through the stage of white metals and then fine casts, but they seem to have moved right away from that and just staying with the plastics and resins. But you just think of that sort of thing and go, wow, what were they doing back then? But as you said, that was the best available data at the time. They didn't really think or know much better.
No, that's right,
it's a continuous improvement thing. And I think while we do our own protection, a lot of the suppliers and manufacturers of these various goods, whether they're forced to through legislation or economics of the chemicals they're using, they're going to change along the way. So it's going to it drives a lot of innovation, but it's in the background, I guess.
One thing that I want to touch on is, a lot of people don't want to hear this sort of talk because, they don't want to be reminded that they're doing the wrong thing.
Yeah. And
it can be easy to dismiss if you haven't seen what happens when you do ignore it.
Yeah.
I've seen some stories of people who work in resin, like this is their job, and no one told them for the longest time about what they should be doing. They're splashing like resins over their hands and going, "Oh, it's all right as long as I don't breathe it in."
But no, I've actually seen a modeler, and I think he was in US based guy, and he built up a it's not a toxicity, I guess a toxicity to actually resin, so he can't use resins at all or be anywhere near it through his modelling, through his actual hobby.
Yeah.
I've heard of that before.
Serious issues.
Yeah, and I've seen photos of a guy who developed something in his lung. They cut it out, and when they cut it out, they analysed it, and there's everything in it. There's resins, there's plastics, there's gravel, there's sand, there's dirt.
Jeez.
There's chemicals.
Was this guy walking around with his mouth open, scooping everything up?
Well, it's just because there's no filter in your lungs.
No,
your lungs is the filter.
Yeah.
It's catching everything, and there's nothing to get it out of there.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, you can't just swap it out.
And believe me, the irony of the fact that I'm a smoker is not lost on me while we're having this discussion.
Very true. Very true. We haven't touched on knife safety.
Well, I was about to bring that up as sort of to bring the
to a close.
We need to talk about sharps safety.
Yeah. No running. No running.
You can run, but you can't be holding a sharp object.
Always cut away from yourself.
I just like the no running. I think whether you're holding a knife or not, I'm on that camp.
So
you always hear those stories about people whose blade rolled off the bench.
Yeah,
and
exactly.
Stabbed them in the leg or the foot.
That's never happened to me because I've always had a Tamiya knife that has the little tab thing that sticks off the side of it, so it can't roll.
Good idea. If you don't have one of them, maybe a little bit of glue, a bit of wood or something to the back of it, something squarish.
I don't even use any of those blade holders. I just hold the actual blade itself in my fingers and use that.
I don't know how you do that,
So
Dave.
how do you do that? You've got no leverage.
Well, if I need anything that requires a bit of effort to cut, I'll go to the razor saw instead.
Right.
I thought he was going to say he goes to the torch, and that's a whole new level of whole new level of
Gets his little
safety
butane
issue.
torch out.
Here's my theory. If you need to use that much pressure to cut through a piece of plastic, you should be using a different tool other than a sharp blade.
Oh, that's an interesting concept.
It is, yeah.
And I've got plenty of other tools that I can reach to and use. I've got the my rotary tools. So
Do you wear a mask when you're using them?
yeah, I do.
Good.
And I can put the burr on that and sort of shape the where I've got different types of razor saws. I'll use them.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm having to use actual pressure to cut through a part,
That's
significant
good, yeah.
pressure, then that's not what the knives are designed for anyway. They're not designed to saw through. They're designed to do light cuts. So
Yeah, that's true.
Interesting.
and touch wood, I haven't had a sharp blade injury in
3 days.
no. It'd have to be at least
4 days.
8 years now.
Oh,
I'll
there
say.
you go.
And that's when I went to just holding the scalpel blade itself rather than holding it in. its
Also,
proper
you're
angle.
using scalpel blades, right?
Yes.
Yes. So they're sharper to begin with than the average
Yes.
X-Acto blade,
Yeah.
right?
Yep. My problem comes when I don't dispose of them properly. That's
Yeah, maybe do that. Maybe don't leave them on your seat.
well, I've I've got a waste paper sort of a little rubbish receptacle, and I chuck all my junk in there. And
Did you change to, was it waste receptacle because you realized you said waste paper basket and you were putting things that wasn't waste paper in it?
it's like a little. Well, it's a rubbish thing, and I've got a plastic
What a
bag
rubbish
in it.
bin.
And when I once I just chuck little blades in there and everything in there, and I grabbed it to take it out, and one of the blades just hung up near the top, and it sort of stabbed me into.
I thought you said you hadn't had an issue in like 8 years.
Well, that's what I said that with the exception of.
Oh, okay.
So
It just happens
I haven't-
just happens every time you dispose of your blades.
Okay, let me rephrase. I have not had a cutting related injury, but I've had a rubbish related injury because I did not dispose of my sharps properly.
You
How's
had a
that?
stabbing injury.
So I use the Tamiya knife.
Yep.
And it uses some very nice Alpha blades. Alpha branded blades are really good, and they come in a little plastic box that has two what do you call it? Little sections in it.
Yep.
So it's like it's partitioned off in the middle, and depending on how you slide the lid from side to side, you gain access to all of the fresh knives, and you can dispose of them through the little slot to put it in the other section,
Well, that's handy.
and it never leaves. And when you're done, you've got like a nice box that won't break open or anything. You can just throw that in the garbage.
There you
and
go.
Nothing will stab you.
There you go. No stabbies.
No stabbies.
That's it. In fact, we want to be painting blood, not using real blood on our dioramas.
Well, of course, if you
right?
do slash yourself open, you just reach for the super glue and just super glue the wound.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea. Put the chemicals in your open
Well,
wound.
that's what super. Don't forget, that's what super glue was originally
Pretty
designed
sure that's
for.
what it was originally invented for.
Yeah.
It was. And funnily enough,
and then you can.
I
use
have had it used on me for medically.
have I.
Yeah.
So have I.
and then it doesn't dry fast enough, so you use the accelerator, and then that goes in your wound, and you get the exothermic reaction which burns you.
I'm just here to tell you that medical super glue, when it's used on you,
Is that what you use, medical
Yeah.
super glue?
It stings like all buggery when
It
they
does,
put it in the
yeah,
cut.
yeah.
It really does.
Doesn't tickle.
No, it's not fun. Brings a tear to the eye.
Is that like actually like from your army days?
No. It was like we just moved into this house, and I was doing some stuff and I was sawing, and I sawed the wrong way, and the saw went and cut through
the webbing,
webbing of my
between your
hands,
thumb.
and I'm
I
standing
hate
going.
that.
And it's usually they put it in areas where they can't stitch it.
Well, it's difficult to stitch.
Yeah, that's where I'd
Yep.
done them one of my fingers where they couldn't stitch it. So they just put super glue in there. And
Yeah, so I just wrapped my wound up and drove myself to the doctor, and he goes, "Oh yeah, we'll put some super glue on that." And I said, "You're gonna what?"
Yeah.
He said, "It's got super glue."
I don't need to pay you to do this. I can do this at my home.
I've done this at home and saved yourself $150.
Oh, anyway.
So we've covered the main points, haven't we?
Did you yank the super glue off and go, so stand aside, noob. I know more than you.
Oh no!
I've glued more things than you have.
Brendan, it's any sort of last sort of things before we sort of wrap it up?
No, I think I've sort of touched on, or we've all sort of touched on. I think, I know, health is important, so everyone should be doing what they can from their end. And also touched on earlier that the suppliers and manufacturers are being sort of forced that way through bans and restrictions and just economics and social license, that sort of thing. So we are getting safer products as to whether they work as well and that sort of thing. So I'm rambling a little bit, but I guess what I'm trying to say is the hobby industry has always adapted to different changes, like we're seeing with the Canada paint bans, whether it's a change of formula and stuff. So there's that side of it, but then there's also the personal protection that every individual can do.
Yep.
The longer you live, the more models you can build.
Oh, there you go.
Exactly.
Yeah, you got to live long enough to chew your way through that stash. Yes, yes,
That'll never work.
indeed.
Yeah, and there's people who only buy models and they don't build them.
Julian
They'll
looks at
outlive
me.
us all.
Julian looks at me.
Yeah, you'll outlive us all. You'll be the longest lived model there is. You'll be the...
Brendan's been awesome having you on the show.
Yes.
Thanks very much for coming on. Say good day to all the boys from Rocky for us.
Will do.
And sorry that we missed them all this year, but unfortunately, circumstances.
Yep. No, that's totally understandable. And thanks for having me on the show.
No worries, buddy.
Good on you. Thanks, mate.
Cheers.
Yeah.
And hello and g'day to Pete from the ScaleACT, President of ScaleACT, here to talk to us about what's happening in November. Apparently there's a little show happening somewhere in Canberra.
Yes, boys. How are we all today?
Yeah,
Good,
very
mate.
well, thank you, mate. Very well.
Great.
Excellent. Yeah, just a small event in early November, like you mentioned. ScaleACT 2025, which is the 25th anniversary of the event. So we've got a cracking show ready to roll out for everyone to come and enjoy.
It's on the 8th and 9th of November 2025. It is going to be held at the horse racing track there.
Yep, Thoroughbred Park, which is one Randwick Street, Lynham,
Perfect.
in the ATP.
Perfect. And I've got to tell you, there's a heap of guys coming up from certainly from my model club this year. So this year it sounds like it's shaping up to be a cracker of a show. Tell us what's going to be happening this year, mate.
We've got obviously 25th anniversary. We've managed to get some international guests and presenters out this year. As probably many people have noticed on Facebook, we've put the program up. So we've got, plenty of, Australia's best modelers presenting again. But in addition to that, we've got Ruben Gonzalez out from AK, which those that aren't aware is probably one of the best diorama builders in the world.
Yep.
And along with that, we've also obtained Calvin Tan to attend as well. So, he will be, doing a demonstration to the general public on the Sunday, but for a first in Australia anyway, he'll be running a workshop on the Saturday, which we've put details up on our Facebook in regards to that as well.
Very cool.
Anybody from any other major manufacturers attending this year?
Yeah, so we've got Qatari will be here in person, so at least 2 of their company reps will be out. In addition to that, we'll have at least in person or new samples sent out from Hong Kong Models, Magic Factory, Rukit, Uma, Hobby, and that I think is about it. And yeah, so a few international participations as well, and recast manufacturers as well.
Well, what I want to thank you and your team up there for getting all these fantastic people from around the world so that I can interview them when I'm up there. So that's awesome.
Yes. No, there'll be a few changes. Like I said, we constantly listen and do our best to incorporate. We can't incorporate everything, but we do our best to make the changes we can for people's feedback each year, which I think allows us to keep growing. And we don't know everything, so we do listen to people's feedback. We and we look at what other people are doing and the lessons learned, etc. And we incorporate the best we can to keep growing and putting on a better event each year for everyone.
Absolutely. And hashtag 1000. We're aiming for 1,000 models to be actually on the tables this year. So if you've been before, bring at least 4 models, even 5 models along, and we're going to crack that number and make it the biggest show ever in Australian modelling history.
Yep.
Well, it's a good way. It's a good way of celebrating in 25 years, isn't it?
Oh, most definitely. Like I said, you might have to run from the judges, but
I'll happily have that. I'll happily have that sword fight with the judges anytime, because the more models on the table, the better it is, I reckon.
The better for everyone. It is. The more to look at, definitely makes it a better weekend. I guess, what else have I got here? Good timing. So Saturday, 8th of November, we open from 10:30 a.m. to 5 p.m. Competition entrance can be accepted from 9:30 a.m. on Saturday, so an hour before opening to the public. Swap and sell, the important swap and sell, I'm sure everyone's hanging for, like usual, will open from 10:30 a.m. That'll be in a new location this year. It'll be on the ground level again. However, you'll have to go through the entire venue down towards the back for those that have been there before. And there'll be some doors and signage down the back, and that's going to be in the admin area on the ground floor. So everything's back down on the ground floor this year, other than the presentations, which will be in the same room upstairs as last year. Workshop series, so they will commence from 10:30 on the Saturday, with the final sessions starting at 3:30. And then we're over to Sunday. So Sunday we'll be open to the public from 10 a.m. to 4 p.m. 10 a.m. to 2:30 p.m. will be the workshops again. Presentations and awards will kick off around 3:30. And then we will be hooking into pack up afterwards. But so that's key timings and stuff. In addition to that, like I mentioned last time, this year we've got, we've got competitor entry passes. So the people that are entering the competition, you'll have a QR code on the back of those passes that you'll get to keep as a bit of a memento as well. That QR code will take you to a competitor's information page when you scan that. So at any point over the weekend, you're not sure what time something's on, or where you need to be, etc. All that information will be on that part of the website.
Oh, that's very innovative. So you just flip it over, scan it on your phone, and it gives you a whole list of what's happening.
Correct, yep.
Awesome.
So in addition to that as well, there's at least 6 or 7 traders that are going to give competitors an additional discount, anywhere from 5 to, I think, 10 or 15%, depending on what they've come forward with. And like I said, I think there's about 6 out of our 22 traders that have have committed to that so far. And then that's still open though, so that list I'm sure will grow by the time we get to ScaleACT as well. So there's an extra added bonus for those that are bringing models along, that some of the traders will give you a discount as well.
Cool.
Excellent. That's what I like to hear.
Yeah, so the the traders that we have so far, we've 22 locked in. Due to space requirements, we've still got 2 on the waiting list, unfortunately, which is a good problem to have. But not if you're the 2 on the waiting list, I guess. So far we've got Star Hobbies coming, Kerriby Hobbies, Spec Models, Firestorm, Scale Models Supply, Model Nerds, Hawkeye, Runway 13, Super Toy World Canberra, Hobartville Hobbies, Grey Fox Concepts with Mark Kerr, do a lot of some of those new Australian bits. Dave Cameron, I'm not sure. Apologies to Dave Cameron. It might be just a personal sales table. BIP Hobbies, Kookaburra Scale Models, Frank Morgan will be there. Slave to Gaming, which is the Mac Wargaming guys, for those that are into that Machine Krieger stuff. Canberra Hobby Centre, Paint on Plastic, which is our good friend. Lincoln? Can we say friend? Lincoln Wright?
Yes.
We use the word friend loosely, very loosely.
We very loosely. We tolerate Lincoln. He's all right. Black Ops Models, which do some other, they do some great 3D resin stuff. That's the first time we've had them down, which will be great. Having more books from Adelaide.
Excellent. They're fantastic. Yeah,
fantastic guys. And one of their authors, Michael Clarenbow, is in Canberra, and he's coming along the club actually next month to do a presentation.
We've actually interviewed him.
Yeah, we've had him on the show, and the wealth of information that guy has, particularly about the Pacific Air War, is just astounding.
Oh, it is. We had him last year. I think October again. He came into the club and spoke about Japanese markings and stuff, and it's completely foreign to anything that was in the West at the time, like the way they paint their aircraft, and it was absolutely fascinating. But the Admiral book guys will be there, and I guess he'll be presenting at our club again in October. Both those presentations will be, well, the new one will be recorded and up on our YouTube, but the previous one's on our YouTube as well.
Oh, fantastic.
Yeah.
Oh, good.
But, for those that want to go back and have a look at that. And P&F figurines. We've got Arms Corps models as well coming down for the first time. Jace Miller is a good bloke. AK Interactive will have a stand. They won't be selling, but there'll be plenty of retailers at the weekend that'll have their products. If you see something you might like from the demos that you want to buy. I said we've got Magic Factory, Uma models, which is the new Harrier. People do the new Harrier. Atari, Rocket Studios, and Hobbies Australia, showing off the latest sort of stuff they're importing for retailers as well. So, plenty happening there. We've got a couple of different, add some atmosphere outside. There's a couple of different vintage car clubs coming over the weekend to, for those car modelers, Julian, you can go out and have a look at some real cars as well. There'll be festival of speed. So there's some, high-end sort of cars there, along with a couple of vintage car clubs coming in over the weekend for half-day sessions. So just to add a bit more sort of happening around, sort of out the front. So I think that, other than if you've got any questions about that before we jump into the new swap and sell system.
No, let's go straight to swap and sell.
Yep, right. So this year, just due to the size of it, unlike, I'm not sure, I know like in Melbourne and some other places, during swap and sell, the seller has to sell the items.
Yep.
We do it a little bit different, and I think it's well received.
It works well.
People can kind of drop the stuff off, and they, because a lot of people come to our event from interstate, etc. too. It allows them to also enjoy the show. So there is, but due to that, because it's grown so much, we've put a new software system in place. So there's actually quite a bit of change here this year. This will be all up on the website too, so you don't need to get pen and paper out and frenetically listen to me and write it down. But just for everyone's awareness that, like I said, we're introducing a new system for swap and sell for 2025. This new system relies on a software package that scans barcode labels attached to items being sold. The seller will download the new seller sheet template from our website that will be up shortly if it's not already. The new template needs to be completed with some personal information and the seller's inventory and returned to the swap and sell team's email address. They will then upload the seller sheet to the new software system and return them a formatted label file that incorporates a barcode, and they just need to print it off with an Avery sort of sheet out of their printer and then pop them onto their the kits that they're bringing. So it's pretty much to fill out and like previous years, those that have done it, you had to fill out an Excel sheet anyway.
Yep.
So you're pretty much still filling out an Excel sheet. That'll get sent back to the team. They will then send you the formatted labels for you to print, and then you just chuck an Avery label printer into your printer. They'll tell you which size sheet to get. Then you just peel them off, stick them on your kits, bring them along, and that's it. And at the end of the weekend, these sheets can also be easily printed off at Officeworks, they mentioned as well. So those that need a little bit of help with printing or not sure if they're doing it correctly, they can pop down their local Officeworks and they will know what to do. There's also the option for non-cash payments this year as well. We're just we've got more Square terminals, so they'll be incorporated into the new system. So
great! That means you're going to spend more money.
However, the new introduction to this, the big change, I guess, is that you won't get paid immediately after the event if you're selling your stuff. You'll provide your bank details and you'll be paid within 10 working days post the event to your nominated bank account.
That sounds fine. It sounds like it's going to work.
I guess the other thing too is it's going to make it a lot easier. So you're not you can the people that are selling will be able to at the end of the weekend they will provide a list that tells them what hasn't sold and has sold, and it will make it easier for them to go find the things and stuff that is still hasn't sold as well. So it's just going to speed a lot of things up. It's going to take a lot of the manual labour out of it as well for our volunteers, which is a key thing as well.
Yeah.
And obviously with something that's so big and mandrolic, you do get some errors creep in. So we're hoping to eliminate a lot of that as well. So, and it also takes stress off the volunteers because it was getting to a point where we had to do something to keep doing. Something that is popular. So, like I said, being able to just drop your kits off and we sell them for you. Obviously, small commission, which is, 10% for non-members of the ACT SMS and 8% for members. So, other than that, everything should be live on the website in regards to swap and sell by the 1st of October and possibly beforehand. But just watch our socials and we'll let you know when it's all up and ready. And then obviously the judging is going to be software based this year, but for the front end user, I guess they probably won't see too much. But when the registration details come out, I think the biggest change for the end user, which is the people entering this year, when you'll essentially log in and create your own profile.
Yep.
Once you've done that, you'll have the ability to log in as many times as you want up until ScaleACT to either add entries or delete if you, for some reason, either don't want to bring it anymore or you've got ambitious and haven't finished it in time. Essentially that's you'll know what you have entered, haven't entered, and you can enter that list right up until we close the entries, a few days before ScaleACT.
Well, let's quickly talk about the entry fees. So the competition entry fees for all people, it's $5 per model, unless you're under the age of 18, then it's free.
Correct.
So $5 per model up to a maximum of $50. So that means a maximum of
10 kits.
10 kits? 10 models?
That's correct. Yeah.
Perfect. And the competition.
No, you can bring more than 10. But yeah.
Oh,
but you're not going to pay any more than $50.
Pay any more than $50.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So you can bring 30 models, but you won't pay any more than $50.
Hashtag 1000. And competition. This is only online. So the ScaleACT competition accepts online registration only, and the comp registration will close. This is very important. At 11:59 p.m. Wednesday on the 5th of November. There are no in-person registrations available at the show.
That is correct. So thank you for reminding everyone of that important point because we don't want to anyone disappointed, and also don't want anyone rocking up on the day, hoping to bring 30 models in. So we have done this again. That's not new. People that are familiar with our event will know we've done that for probably about 4 or 5 years now.
Yep.
And a lot of shows are going that way, so it shouldn't be that foreign for most people now.
Also, it prevents people from sniping.
Yes.
It shouldn't be any issue there. So, like I said, there's probably a slight increase in fees this year, and that is because we've got quite nice medallions for gold, silver, bronze. We're incorporating software across the event to make the experience better for everyone, and we're providing more. So we've got people like Calvin Tan and Ruben coming. And you'll have a better experience, like with upgraded, equipment and stuff and facilities within the event.
Hang on a second, $5 per entry. That's not expensive. That's a pretty good deal.
Yeah.
It's a bit. I think it was $3 last year, so it is a bit of an increase for us.
Geez, you can't even buy a cup of cappuccino in Melbourne for $5 these days. So
true.
Well, those days are long.
This is explain why, and obviously, the cost of hiring stuff's gone up a tiny bit as well. So we've just got to spread the love around across the event to sort of incorporate that as things grow and things unfortunately get more expensive. But this year as well, it's worth noting that the gold, silver, bronze coins will be the like kind of a limited edition memento as well, because they'll have the 25th anniversary logo on them, not the standard ScaleACT logo.
Hashtag 1000. We've got to get those.
And also from feedback, from last year, where people said it's hard to tell because the front of them had the coloured logo as well.
Yeah.
People were saying it was hard to tell between gold, silver, and bronze.
Yeah.
So they won't be coloured at all, but they will look quite good still in the sort of 3D printed format of gold, silver, bronze. So you'll definitely a lot more distinguishable this year. So that's happening there. So.
When you're entering you have the choice of going in, entering as rookie, or standard, or master. Yep. And how do you choose which one of those that you put your model under?
Yeah, so it should be up, or if it's not, it will be up in the next week or so. I think the categories are already up on the website. And then there will be a description for each of those skill levels on the website as well. So just have a read of those. Last year I think 99% of people picked the right thing. So people were generally pretty honest, and it worked out quite well last year. So it was. So the best thing to do is have a look jump on the website, www.actsms.asn.au, go across to ScaleACT and to the judging side of things, or competition, I think the subcategory is, and all the the information about skills and the categories will be on there.
Well, I can tear through them very quickly if you're happy for me to do that.
You.
So a rookie may not have been building for very long and is still learning the basics, or might be returning to the hobby after an extended break, or has never entered a competition previously. A standard, most entrants are in the standard group, so a standard level entrant has been building for a while and routinely produce work that they're happy with. They demonstrate proficiency in fundamental modelling techniques and may use aftermarket upgrades to the kit. Gee, that sounds like me. Master entrant is very experienced and comfortable with more complicated techniques, is comfortable with and regularly uses aftermarket conversions or large upgrades, may routinely enter competitions and consistently places. So, Julian, you're back in Masters this year for your cars.
That's right. I won gold last year.
Gundam's slightly different, but again, there's the standard build, which uses provided parts stickers only. There's the repaint, where the builder uses the kit provided parts but repaints the kit and customises its look. No aftermarket or kit bashing is allowed. And custom is open slate. You can do whatever you want. And of course, on top of that, we've got the juniors as well. So
it's important that if you've won gold in rookie, you have to go up to standard, right?
Correct.
We have no hard and fast rule on that yet this year. So,
okay.
yes, it's something we're still trying to work out the best approach. Like it's some of the other places overseas that use this system have a lot bigger events, and the up and down of a sort of promotion demotion system, is works. But on reviewing it, we haven't squared that away yet because we've been focused on we need to after last year the biggest lesson learned was we need to bring some technology in to make life easier for everyone. So
Yeah.
that's where a lot of the focus has been in that, and that up and down thing with gold, silver, bronze is on ice till next year. So there'll be next year we'll have 2 years of data.
Yep.
And then we'll look at what the best approach is going to be for that. However, rookies, if rookies, like it says in the description, like never entered a competition before.
Yep.
They're probably, those that were in rookies last year, just from the definition, would be in standard this year if they've, if they entered last year, they've entered a comp before. So they're, now required to go into standard just from the, the term, just from the definition. So.
Very good.
Cool.
Yes.
And when's the Grandmaster section coming in?
So we just got master section.
Yeah, I know.
And, so the same thing as last year. That we'll pick the best of for each each category. So it'll be 11 or 12 best ofs, and then best of show and people's choice still as well. So there's. You got the gold, silver, bronze aspect, but you still got the competitive aspect of, potentially being, the best, tank, aircraft, car, ship, whatever. So,
yeah, I know. Dave made it out last year, like, if you get gold in Masters, that you got nowhere to go, and I won't be able to enter any models anymore. And that's not the case.
You're in the car park.
Yeah, there's one thing we haven't touched on yet, and that's isn't there also 4 other subcategories?
Oh yes, the
Kitty Hawk,
the Sentinel Shield,
yes.
and
yes, we might have a quick chat about those.
Like every year, we do 4 sort of special categories each year, sort of thing, for a bit of fun. It's been going on for nearly the whole existence of ScaleACT as well. I think the 25th anniversary of that is next year, so we're probably going to look at a bit of a blast from the past and potentially do either the stuff we did in the first year sort of thing or something just for a bit of fun. But anyway, this year, the Sentinel Shield, this year is the, is it Sayuta, or whatever you say it?
Sayata, yeah.
148 scale Panther kits, which a few of the guys have been putting together, and they're very well detailed, and having fun with those. You're allowed to use the only exception from the normal Sentinel Shield rules with that, I guess, is that you're allowed to use Putty for Zimmer.
Mm-hmm. Right.
Or you can obviously use the decals that come in the kit for the Zimmer, or any, and like usual, any marking not included inside the box you're allowed to use as well, decal-wise. Says the Kitty Hawk Cup is any of the 3 172nd scale Tamiya F-35 kits, which just literally shake and bake. They fall together. And the what do we got? The Grail this year is the sinking of the Bismarck. So any ship involved with the sinking of the Bismarck, or sunk by the Bismarck,
or plane, I think as well, right?
All plane, So there's, but it's got to be all to 1/700. So hopefully we'll see some 1/700 scale swordfishes and
good luck to whoever's building that.
And Catalinas, which there's kits available. So I'm sure someone will be smart enough to do it. But what else? And then can't forget the car stuff, can I, Julian? I think it's the best. It's the best Aussie. Yeah, best Australian vehicle sort of thing. So obviously it's kind of what are those car kits from the guy in Queensland,
DDA.
There's also some resin kits out there, but
resin kits. And there's there's Fujimi have done Skylines and stuff apparently from Bathurst and all this sort of stuff. So
if I'd known that, I would have done a Skyline.
I'm really pleased. So I'm looking at your website now, and under the best Aussie car, there's a picture of what I used to have as a Tirana, except the colour's different, but I used to have this on 5000. I used to love it.
Ah, nice.
I should never have sold that. But anyway, you do stupid things when you're young.
You know, I always wanted the Tirana hatchback.
Yeah.
Yeah, because I always like the hatchback shape better than the SLR 5000.
Do you know they actually made a camping edition for that thing?
What?
Oh yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, GM made a camping edition.
Yeah, because
like
the
tent that came off the back of it.
Whenever you got like a hatch, you can always make some big accordion like thing that goes in there.
You can.
So that's awesome.
All right, well, fantastic. So don't forget, everybody. Here it comes again, ScaleACT. It's going to be running over the weekend of the 8th and 9th of November 2025. There's only a few months to go. You can go. Where can we find out more information?
Yeah, so three or four locations. So you've got the website, www.act.sms.asn.au. You've got the general Facebook page, which is just ACT SMS as an acronym. And then you've got ScaleACT as an acronym, which is another Facebook page, which is just concentrated, obviously, just ScaleACT information that we put out. So,
or in Google, just type in ScaleACT 2025, and it will take you to this particular site you need to go to.
Yeah, excellent. And then obviously there's a bit of stuff on YouTube as well. So on the YouTube page, that's the other thing. Like it's open to it's open to anyone that's coming. The Calvin workshop, that's up on the link's been put out on Facebook. And we'll get that up on the website as well. Obviously, there's only 14 seats available, so we're doing that as a sort of like a hidden bid auction, so people can't snipe people at the last minute sort of thing for a seat.
Yep.
Starting bids are, $80. Sounds like a lot, but it's a whole day. It's 10 till 5 with light refreshments. You get a 130 scale figure. Some paint.
And with such a small amount of people, it's going to be like one-on-one.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
That's where its value would be.
Yeah. And like I said, Calvin's one of the best figure painters, especially in 35th scale in the world as well. And he's probably genuinely one of the nicest people I know as well. So the guys are, people that are, fortunate enough to grab a ticket are going to really have a cracking day because, like I said, he's generally one of the nicest blokes I know. And, it's starting bids down, like I said, starts at $80, but it goes from 10 to 4 or 5 or something. You get light refreshments, a figure, some paint, wet palette, and pretty much one-on-one just about with Calvin. Like you're saying, and like I said, don't need to be a member or anything. If you are a full member and associate member, you do have the added bonus of a bit of incentive to be a member. It's not trying to give anyone an unfair advantage, but we've got to add value to be a member, for people as well. And there's you do get the extra $25. But like I said, you don't need to be a member. You can just be a visitor attending to put a bid in. And the same is we've got coloured limited edition ScaleACT 2025 coins, so 0 to 100. They're engraved on the back, etc. That again is not open just to our members. The details are on our Facebook as well. And they just start at the cost price. The coins plus the display cases cost us about $20. So that's the starting bid. And just a bit of a memento, to for those that want to take something home from the from the 25th anniversary show, or friends or supporters of ScaleACT and want a memento. So they will ask you in that online web form if you're a member or not. It doesn't matter. Just click no and you can still put a bid in.
Fantastic,
terrific.
Yeah.
And it's flagged as Australia's friendliest show, and it is, because we've actually been there and we can vouch for how friendly the show is.
And the nightlife.
But the nightlife also is just sensational.
Yeah.
It's the opportunity to catch up with a whole heap of mates from around Australia, and I think it's just a sensational location. We have a great hilarious fun of night time when we sort of get together and have a few beers under the belt and some good food, and it's always a great weekend. We certainly look forward to.
Yes, and like I said, that's only sort of growing as well. I think we've pretty much had just taken over pubs on a Friday and Saturday and Sunday night now. So
we do.
Yeah, so it's I think last year at least had 50 odd people on the Friday and the Saturday night. It's just been a really good sort of all round weekend.
Well, on the Sunday night we actually had about 15 guys still there. There were the diehards.
even more, I think. So
Yeah, that's right.
At that point, yeah. It was a fairly large group to start with there as well. So it's like I said, with us, we do rely on a lot of people to travel to our event, which is a bit different to probably a lot of the other bigger shows like Expo and QMHE, where they do have a lot of local talent and sort of that get involved. But obviously people do travel to those events as well. But we have a large, probably at least 50% of the people who come to our event to travel. So we will be nominating a pub or for each night sort of thing to try and get just so people know where everyone to meet and all that sort of stuff. And also, over previous years, people have reached out and said, I'm coming, but I'm coming from the middle of South Australia and I don't know anyone, sort of thing. So if you don't want to eat by yourself, whatever, it's always good. We just nominate somewhere and come along, say hi, and the whole weekend.
Make some new friends.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, exactly. Make some new friends. It's all inclusive. So that's what we want. So, come and have a great weekend. 'Cause, I'm sure it will be. And if you've got any questions, reach out to, anyone on the team. You'll see our names and stuff on Facebook or, just reach my direct email even, which is President, shouldn't I have stopped there, shouldn't I? Shocking. I'll just make sure I get the last part of it right. So it's president@actsms.asn.au. So if anyone's got any questions, attending for the first time, etc., flick me an email and if I can't answer it, if it's more of a technical question about swap and sell or something like that, I'll pass it on to the lead of that area to give you the correct and most informative information we can.
Terrific. Only about 5 weeks away, so hurry up and build. Start entering those models. #1000. We will see you in Canberra and can't wait to get there. Mate, thanks very much for popping on the show and letting us know what's happening.
No, and thank you for the boys for letting me on it a couple of times a year to promote the event. And exactly. It's all the community. It's not everyone plays a part of these sort of things. So from you guys on the podcast, the traders, the competitors, members of the public coming, it's all everyone plays an integral part. So thank you to everyone that contributes and helps from not within our club either. So.
No worries. ScaleACT 2025 #1000. Be there or be square. Thanks very much, Pete.
Thanks. Cheers, boys.
See you, mate.
Well, it's good catching up with Pete
again. Yes,
it's good.
Great fella.
Looking forward to the show. It's time to bring it home, gents.
So, time to head home.
Well, you guys go home. I've got all the editing to do yet.
Do a bit of do a bit of housework.
Yeah.
Hopefully, maybe get a half an hour or an hour on the bench if I'm lucky.
Oh, there you go. I've got a lot of gardening to do. Spring cleaning. I cleaned all the windows around the house yesterday.
Really?
I'm surprised you guys didn't actually.
You did?
Well, that window you're looking at.
You did? Okay, I'll take your word for it, Dave.
All right. Okay, clarification. I did 3 sides of the house. Because this
and obviously
side of the house,
this side you didn't do.
I didn't do because nobody can see it except for me looking out.
God.
So.
Did a half-assed job, Dave.
I've got all the hedges and everything to do today. So today's...
How come you're not like this with modelling? If no one can see it, don't touch it.
Well, I am. So I'm picking up on some of your vibes, especially when it comes to the Mooseroo Cup. If you can't see it, I ain't painting it.
Yes. And speaking of modelling...
Speaking of modelling. On the modelling podcast.
Modelling podcast, yeah.
Speaking of modelling... You guys have seen it, and I've seen it, and I've got to say, I am so impressed with what our good friend Martin Drayton's doing at the moment with his True Lies Harrier. That is just blowing my mind. Yeah. That is so awesome.
Yeah.
He's like just looking at all the photos, he's got Arnie in there and everything, and it's just awesome.
You're fired.
You're fired, yes. Yes, can't wait to see that completed. And that's going to be in flight.
Is it? He's actually doing it in flight?
Well, it has to be. Has to be in flight.
Well, no, he could do it on the ground.
No, not with
that's the scene.
Not with the terrorist dude hanging off the
sidewinder.
So
he's doing it with the terrorist hanging off the sidewinder. Yeah. Oh, cool.
Yeah, it's awesome. Good. Yeah, I can't wait to see it finished. We've got to get him on the show
again. We've got so many people to get on the show.
I know.
Yeah, I know.
So be prepared, Martin.
I've got. Well, we're pretty much booked all the way up until
2026. 27?
No. I think December we're pretty free in December. So all of October we're booked, and November we're booked as well. So
Cool.
we're pretty busy lads.
Sounds good.
Hey, we need to go back to weekly.
Yes. Geez, they'd hate that, wouldn't they?
Anyway, all right, gents. Thanks for being on the show, Ian.
Adios, everybody.
Julian.
Yeah, see ya.
Okay, gents. We'll be back in a fortnight.